Now I know this is staged, but I know you see guys like this in the gym, wearing a training belt for every exercise, no matter what they're doing, as if to say. Now, if you ask them to tell you why they're wearing a training belt, more than likely they're going to tell you that it's because they have low back pain, unless they said it's just for fashion, and then that's just stupid. But what if I told you that their back pain probably isn't back pain at all and has more to do with their core? Welcome back to Strong Bear Fitness, and today we're diving into a simple overview of the core. And if you think we're just talking about the abs, then you are wrong. The core is much more complex than just the abs. So we're going to dive into what the core is, some of the muscles associated with the core, and simple exercises that strengthen the core. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're not like the rest of the heathens that you see in the gym wearing a training belt for every exercise. Now let's break this down.
You jackass!
Now there are two types of core muscles. The first type are called local core muscles, deep type 1 endurance-based muscle fibers that help stabilize the spine and the pelvis. And they do it subconsciously, meaning you don't have to think about using them. They just work. These are the muscles that support your posture through walking, running, and a ton of different exercises. So strengthening these muscles makes everyday life and exercises easier. Some of the local core muscles include the transverse abdominis, the multifidus, and the quadratus lumborum. Now, you'd think the exercises that you'd have to perform to improve your local core muscle strength and stability will be difficult, but they're actually not. This is Mike, one of my clients that I train. Mike has been on a weight loss journey since 2023, back when he weighed 445 pounds. Today, Mike is below 300 pounds and still losing weight. When Mike hired me as his personal trainer, Mike's core stability and strength were lacking. At the test, he was unable to perform a plank on day one. So we started him out with some simple exercises, one being the drawing in maneuver. The drawing in maneuver is a simple yet highly effective exercise that targets the transverse abdominis, the deepest and one of the most important core muscles of the body. Now, this exercise is super easy to perform. I posted a short a few weeks ago showing how to perform the drawing in maneuver and progressing from the drawing in maneuver to marching while drawing in to performing air slides while drawing in. And the way it's performed is you just lay down on your back with your legs bent and simply using your muscles, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Not your breath, your muscles. Once you draw it in, you hold that draw in for 5 to 7 seconds. You release it, rest for 5 seconds, and then you draw it back in for another 5 to 7 seconds. You keep repeating this process 10 times, and then that's one set. And you can do 2 more sets along with that. And if you've never done this exercise before and your core is lacking, I promise you, you're going to feel the pressure. Now, Mike was able to progress from just doing the drawing in maneuver to marching while drawing in after about 5 training sessions. And after another 5 training sessions, he was able to progress to air slides while drawing in. And within 1 month, Mike was performing planks. But not only was he performing planks, he was performing planks for an extended period of time. Matter of fact, we've had several training sessions where Mike has held a plank for over 1 minute. Now, with Mike improving his core stability and strength in the gym, how did it help him on the outside in everyday life?
Tremendously. I work in law enforcement, so there's a lot of walking and riding and sitting I have to do. I can tell my back strength. I don't hurt my lower back, upper back. It's really made an improvement in my life overall. Couldn't even do 1 push-up without being on my knees. My breath, just being able to hold it. Muscle fatigue, didn't have any. I had it. I couldn't perform the exercise, but after going through the basics with you now, I mean, I'm up to holding a plank for over a minute now. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't have done
that. Straight from the horse's mouth. You heard it, folks. Now, obviously, there are quite a few more exercises that you can perform to strengthen your core stability. But progressing from the drawing in maneuver to the plank is, in my professional opinion, one of the best ways to start. The second type of core muscles are the global core muscles. These are type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers that create movement, transfer force or loads between the upper and lower body, and also help support the trunk. They generate power through various exercises, including the squat, the deadlift, bent over rows. Some of these muscles include one that you're very familiar with, the rectus abdominis, which most people call the six pack. Also the external obliques, the erector spinae, and even the glutes. Now, remember that back pain that we were talking about earlier, that's not really back pain, but more than likely high glute pain. That's going to be the gluteus medius, or as I like to refer to it, the glute med. When most of my clients started training with me and said they were experiencing lower back pain, they pointed directly to this spot, which are the glutes. Their glutes were either hurting from overcompensating for another weak core muscle or from being weak themselves. By strengthening their core, most of my clients would experience less pain or no pain at all. I mean, you guys heard it from Mike. So the majority of free weight exercises, not machines, the majority of free weight exercises work the global core muscles. Kettlebell swings, goblet squats, and farmer's carries are great entry-level exercises that strengthen your core. Now, these exercises are less for aesthetics looks and target functional core strength. And one thing you have to remember to do while performing these exercises is brace your core. Now, if the drawing in maneuver brings your belly button towards your spine, then bracing your core does the complete opposite. When you brace your core muscles expand, creating intra-abdominal pressure that protects your spine and improves power transfer. So while you're performing any exercises that requires global core muscles, if at any point in time you feel the weight start pulling you forward or down, and you got your core brace or you're losing that brace, or if you even feel like you're starting to get a little arch in your back or some low back pain, aka glute pain, then lighten the load. It's better to do the exercise safely and efficiently than to risk injury and make zero progress. You don't want to end up like one of those geniuses wearing a training belt for every single exercise. Now, there are other simple exercises that you can perform that not only target functional strength, but the aesthetic look that you guys are looking for. Probably those washboard abs that you're not going to get unless you put the Twinkies down. And some of those exercises include basic sit-ups and crunches and leg or knee raises. Now, these exercises actually require a bit more control. For example, if you're doing a sit-up or a crunch and you are using momentum to help get yourself up and down, then you're not doing a great job working your core. Everything has to be up under control, from raising your body to lowering your body. Same thing with leg raises and knee raises. Have you ever seen one of those guys doing leg raises and it looks like he's getting ready to cut a backflip? How are you even working the core? When you're raising and lowering your legs, everything should be controlled. That way your core has to work harder. And if you're making your core work harder, then that stress will cause the core to adapt and become stronger. It's not going to become any stronger if you're using momentum to get yourself up and down. Now, obviously, there are quite a few more exercises that you can do to boost your core strength and stability. But these starter exercises that target the local core muscles and the global core muscles are going to help you surpass old boy over there doing bicep curls with his training belt on in roughly a month. So if you enjoyed this type of content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you stay tuned in by subscribing to the channel for future content. And until next time, this is Strong Bear Fitness.